why were we created? Were we created to work a 9 to 5, start a side hustle, build the side hustle, grow the bank account, get married, start a family, work till we're 70, retire with a big bank account, and then pass away? No. The Ramchal writes in this book that we were created to take delight in our Creator, to benefit from his Shekhinah, which means the divine presence of God, which is ultimately the greatest pleasure ever. So more joy, a billion times more joy than you could get from winning the lottery, marrying your dream partner, any physical pleasure, going on the best vacation you could imagine, a billion times unimaginable bliss, spiritual bliss, is attachment to Hashem, attachment to the Creator, and that is for the next world, the world to come. That is not for this world. So what is this world for? If in the next world we're going to feel the closeness to the Creator, what is this world for? This world, our sages teach us, is kind of like the hallway, the corridor to get to the next world. We're just passing through to achieve our purpose in the next world, but this world is the means through which we achieve that purpose, right? It's the means through which we're able to achieve that. So why are we in this world? This world provides us with so much physical pleasures, but none of them really seem to satisfy us, right? Even if you do enjoy a really amazing success in your life, it's so short-lived, it's so fleeting. It can't possibly be the reason, as I'll talk further about in this video, that we were created. So the Ramchal says that this world was created so that we can fulfill the mitzvos and earn the reward, because we need to earn it for ourselves, of the world to come. Today we do the mitzvos, and tomorrow we receive the reward. So our obligation as humans in this world is to fulfill the mitzvos and to receive the good that Hashem is the only good in the world to come. And he gave us the mitzvos, and through doing them, we can become more attached to Hashem. The physical desires of this world, actually, when they're not used to elevate, but when we chase after them needlessly and in excess, actually can distance us from our Creator. So I'll give you an example. Imagine you are doing extremely well financially. You use that money to host a beautiful dinner on Shabbat, and you invite all of these people who wouldn't otherwise have a meal to go to. That is a beautiful way that you have now taken the physical pleasure of wealth and elevated it. And that's your purpose, because that's you doing a mitzvah, becoming more like Hashem by being a giver, by doing a chesed, by doing a kindness, by doing a mitzvah, the mitzvah of hosting guests, the mitzvah of observing Shabbat. And money is the means with which you were able to do that. Money is the tool you use to do that. However, if you chase after money in and of itself, and you just want more, it actually can distance you from God, because you're becoming less like God. You're becoming just a taker, taking for the sake of yourself alone, with no intention of giving and not elevating it. The mitzvah, what does mitzvah mean? It's translated often as commandment, but it's also translated as connection, because it connects us to Hashem. We can use the mitzvah of giving tzedakah, let's say, giving charity, to connect money to Hashem, to connect us with Hashem and elevate money, right? We can use food if we make a blessing on it, and we say thank you to God after eating bread. We do that mitzvah, and that connects us to God. And that's the tool with which we earn the reward that's in the world to come, that's waiting for us in the world to come. But if we look for food as a means as the end in and of itself to give us happiness and to be our meaning in this world and provide us with fulfillment in this world, then we become distant from Hashem, because we use it in excess and we don't elevate it at all, right? So the physical pleasures of this world are not for us to just enjoy for the sake of enjoying. They really, if you think about it, bring us only fleeting pleasure. It doesn't take much to realize that, right? We've all had that experience of chasing something so hungrily, getting it, only to be, wanting the next thing the next day. It says a person who has $1 wants two. And our sages say that. Could that be any more true, right? So it's clear then that physical pleasures, obviously everyone knows, don't bring us lasting fulfillment or happiness. We are in a constant battle in this world, says the Ramchal, between the soul and the body. What is this battle? The soul only wants spiritual growth, only desires closeness to Hashem, while the body is satisfied by physical pleasures, mundane pleasures. It wants to rest, it wants to relax, it wants to do nothing. It's drawn towards physicality, towards sluggishness, towards laziness. And to the extent that we overcome our evil inclination, and we overcome temptations to indulge in the physical desires in this world, using them for the wrong reasons, it's to that extent that we can enjoy Hashem's beneficence, infinite goodness in the next world. Because to the extent that we earn it, is the extent that we can experience the reward in the next world. We are in a constant struggle and a battle with the Yetzer Hara, and the battle is one that can only be overcome through Torah and mitzvos. I mean, if you're a Jew. If you're not Jewish, then that does not really apply to you. You have other prescriptions for that. But like our sages say, whoever toiled on the eve of Shabbos will eat on Shabbos. But whoever did not toil on Shabbos, the Ramchal says, from what will he eat? The sages say that. And the Ramchal says that Shabbos is compared to the world to come. We hear that Shabbos is like a tiny, 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 tiny fraction of bliss, of the comparison of the bliss, endless bliss that we will receive in the world to come. Shabbos is the tiniest, smallest taste of that. And so too, whoever prepares their food on the eve of Shabbos enjoys it on Shabbos. Whoever prepares their food on the eve of Shabbos, meaning this world, whoever prepares through performing the mitzvot in this world, will be satisfied and satiated in the next world, which is compared to Shabbos, when we can finally rest. Our sages also say, as the Ramchal points out, this world is analogous to the dry land, where the world to come is analogous, am I saying that right? To the sea. If one doesn't prepare on dry land, what will he eat at sea? This further proves that anyone can recognize that nobody is truly happy and fully tranquil here in this world, right? Even someone who has enjoyed all the riches, all the physical pleasures of this world, all the material success that life has to offer, they have known extreme struggles. They have had their own massive challenges that they've had to overcome. They've known pain. They've known hardship. It doesn't evade them. So our sages say, who is genuinely happy and tranquil in this world? What are our lives worth, right? It says in Tehillim, the days of our years, among them are 70 years, or with strength 80 years, and their proudest success is but toil and pain. All of our days, every single person has days filled with pain, illness, aches, and problems. And then we die? ? It doesn't make sense. The Ramchal is saying it doesn't make sense that Hashem, who is the best creator, the smartest infinite intelligence creator, would create a being that is defective, because it has a body, it has a soul, but the soul isn't satisfied by any of the physical pleasures of the world, and then works his whole life only to achieve no satisfaction and then dies. Like that's a faulty creation then. So it couldn't be that God would create something faulty. He also says in this book, find one person in 1,000 who can say that this world gave him true tranquility and pleasure. If the purpose of man was to enjoy this world, then we would have no need for the soul, if you think about it. Because the soul is so lofty, it's so elevated, it was blown into man, it says in the Torah, right? The soul was blown into Adam and Eve. Why? Why would God blow that lofty, spiritual, elevated soul into man, only to have the soul be absolutely repulsed by all the physical pleasures in this world, the material pleasures. That would not make any sense. It says in Koheles, which I just want to bring here as well, all man's toil is for his mouth, yet the soul is never satisfied. The Ramchal compares it in The Path of the Just to a daughter of the king, a princess, marrying a simple villager, and the villager brings her all the physical delights of the world, and she's not satisfied. She's not impressed. That is exactly how our soul is in this world. We give our soul $1,000, it's the body's happy. The body feels that rush of adrenaline when receiving it, but the soul knows that it's nothing satisfies it here. It wants spiritual closeness to God. It craves spiritual growth. God would not create something opposite to its nature. God would not create something opposite to its nature. God would not create a being who has a spiritual neshama that is not satisfied in the place where it is, in the world where it is. It must be then that the soul's purpose, the purpose of man, is for its future situation in the world to come, as opposed to this physical world. And he concludes then that mitzvos are a path to achieve our situation in the world to come. To achieve this situation, therefore, they must be performed with perfect, exacting precision, as you would take if you were, counting money or weighing gold and diamonds, weighing some precious gems. To that extent, we should be as precise with performing what connects us to the ultimate treasure that is in the world to come, which is the mitzvos. We should be just as exacting and just as cautious to observe them with the level of care that we would if we were counting money for our bank account, or with all the physical things that we take such care to achieve. The physical pleasures serve us a purpose in this world, but that purpose is only then to provide us with the peace of mind that we need to work on our divine spiritual service, to perform mitzvos, to refrain from sin, to achieve closeness to God. I'll give you an example. If a person, like we said before, is blessed with a family, a spouse and a family, that then enables, and a beautiful house, that then enables that person to be hospitable, to be welcoming, to give them peace of mind, that they not need to worry all the time about where they're going to sleep at night, where they're going to live, where they're going to get their next meal from. They have that peace of mind, and that's what Hashem gave them as a means that they can work more on their divine service of performing mitzvos. So they don't need to worry about how to give tzedakah because they have no money, or how to learn Torah because they can't spare an hour in the day to learn, or how to host a guest because they don't have the room for it. Like, all of the physical pleasures are given to us as a means of performing the mitzvos to achieve our situation in the world to come, which is going to be ultimate connection with Hashem, which is ultimate bliss. That's the most good of good that there is. The highest good, the highest feeling of pleasure that there is. And that is chapter 1 of Mesillas Yesharim, summed up. Highly recommend getting this book. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like, subscribe, and stick around, because I will be further continuing this series, chapter 2, in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to reading your comments, and have an amazing spiritual week. May we be blessed enough to focus on performing the mitzvos and focus our intention to exacting precision in serving Hashem.